can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back
My
to
wife says,
Let
"No,
the
Gabriel,
Boys
leave." I say,
Watch,
"No,
a Going Great
let the
production.
boy watch."
This week we're talking about House of the Dragon. We're continuing our season 3 watch. My name is Ben. House of the Dragon stars Emma Darcy. Who else? The best. Matt Smith, Olivia Cooke, Fabien Franklin, Steve Toussaint, Ewan Mitchell, Tom, Glynn-Carney, Jefferson Hall. Who else we got here? Reese Fons, rest in peace, and a bunch of other people. But before I bore you with the credits, alongside me is my good friend Ryan. Ryan, how are you this week?
I'm good. Uh, no rats in this house. How are you?
Doing good. There's rats all over the place. I hung all the rat catchers last week, and who would have thought?
Who'd have thought you killed the rat catchers as rats?
Yeah, come
Wow.
on.
No, but I'm doing good. How you doing? Besides the
I'm doing
rat.
good. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, they're becoming my friends.
Pff, imagine controlling a rat army. Could do a
Oh my
lot of
God.
damage to stores of grain.
Please, I can open a Michelin star restaurant.
What a film. Um, yeah, like Benny said, this is Let the Boys Watch. We are continuing our House of the Dragon coverage. I'm sure once this is over, we'll get back to some movies and we'll get back to everyone's favorite co-host, Robbie. Um,
Please.
we miss you, baby. Come home. Um, I also like to add that this episode was directed by Claire Kilner and written by Sarah Hess. And please send us a message about House of the Dragon or any other Song of Ice and Fire stuff at ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Speaking of Song of Ice and Fire stuff, we have read the Song of Ice and Fire books. So those may come up during the conversation. I have gotten into the Fire and Blood audiobook, but there will be no spoilers beyond episode 3, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can also find us on Instagram at Let the Boys Watch Pod, and Benny will tell you about YouTube.
Yeah, please give us a follow on YouTube. Search for Let the Boys Watch, House of the Dragon, Home Alone, Home Alone 2,
Home
Die
Alone
Hard, Die
3,
Hard 2. Yeah, we did do Home Alone 3. I forgot about that.
4 is coming
Uh,
up.
coming up soon. Yeah, give us a follow on there. Subscribe. Click the thumbs up on the videos. If you follow us, you won't have to search for us every time we drop a new episode. And we would love to see you there. Leave a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Yeah, please. We'll get to some segments. We'll score this episode. But first, Benny, what'd you think about this episode? Episode 3, we had two, I would say, bangers, as the kids say, to start off the
hmm
season. Do you think we're still cooking or are we not cooking?
Oof. The gas is still on. We're cooking. You
I didn't
know,
know what the opposite of cooking would be. I was
we're
gonna say
in
eating.
the
I was like, but
fridge.
that's not the opposite.
That's still good. Yeah,
Yeah,
eating
that's
is still
still
good,
good.
Ryan. I'll catch you up on all the Gen Z terms.
Damn,
No,
please.
the gas is still on. Um, it was a reset episode. Obviously, we needed that after the last two, but I loved the way that they did this one. I loved like just this is. I feel like I don't know if he'll ever come out and say it, but this is what George R. R. Martin, wanted to write these books about, and everything that he wanted from the Lord of the Rings. So he said, he wanted to know how. Okay, you won the throne. What does the day to day look like then? Like,
Now
what are all
what?
the little things? What are your policies? And we get this like 50-minute panic attack from Rhaenyra of just like every little thing that she, okay, you wanted the throne, but this is what it truly means, and all these little things, and how underprepared she is. And I just love the way that it was shot. Is it the greatest episode of the series? Like we were talking about the last two? No, it's not, but it was a good reset, and they left it off on a good enough point where I feel like we're getting right back into the shit next episode. So good reset. Love the way they shot it. It was definitely a unique episode. Probably one of those episodes that they kept the budget pretty low on in order to do all the dragon stuff that they have to do and all the battles they have to do this season. So yeah, I was a fan of this episode. Not one of the best in the series, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think like we were saying the last week especially, this probably would have been episode 1 of season three if they had the first two at the end of last season, like we
Yeah.
assume they probably should have, but whatever. Um, I enjoyed this episode. I'm not gonna get into any of it because I don't want to spoil you nor our many, many listeners. Um, there was some things in this episode that I was like, interesting. Curious where they're gonna go with certain things, and you know, I wasn't like, what the hell are they doing? Like you can't do that because then this happens and blah blah. Like so
Yeah.
far, what they're doing seems appropriate. It's just different than what Martin put on the page, and that's fine. I'm here for that. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna piss and moan until I think things are effed up, which so far they're fine. Interesting
So
choices, whatever. We'll see what
yeah.
happens. But yeah, good episode. You're right. Complete anxiety attack and was great to see the day to day. And like you were saying, I mean, Martin famously doesn't write battles, even in the books where budget is not a concern. He just kind of he glazes over a lot of them.
Someone gets knocked out
Yeah,
and they and they wake up and
yeah.
like, oh, what happened?
The
Oh, this
POV
and this happened.
character's in the privy and misses the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like whatever,
Yeah.
just something stupid. Um, but yeah, they do some of the battles skip in the show because of budget concerns, but again, historically, this show is not even Game of Thrones. There was a couple of battles shown, but they definitely skip over a couple. Tyrion gets knocked out, and then we're like, "Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
back." Um, but yeah, good episode. Curious to see where a few things go. I think, thinking about the show itself, the storyline, like I'm very curious where certain characters are going in their storylines, that some of the decisions made by Rhaenyra, who is the focus of this episode, I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, entertaining. Enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, no Aegon this week, obviously no Laris,
Terrible.
very little Damon.
I miss them.
Um, yeah. I am super excited about the Ormond stuff and like whatever battle or fight is coming next because that whole time you're like, this is too easy.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe things are going well. But for like such an idiot, why would I ever think that? Like I've been proven wrong on that, and everybody's been proven wrong on things going too well too many times before that I should have known. Uh, there was the rug pull coming.
I just that whole scene, and we'll get into it in a little bit. Let's do scores first, but that whole scene seemed out of character for him. Um, but we'll talk about it. Let's
Ormond?
no, Damon. Like,
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's come back to it.
yeah, we'll come back to it. But yeah, let's do some scores and then we'll get into the episode proper. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
You can go first.
Um, I'm gonna go. I liked one and two better, although two is definitely better for me. I'm gonna go 8 point. What did I give episode one? I know we don't normally do
8.2.
this. 8.2. I gotta go lower than that, so I'm gonna go 8.1. No, that's too close. 7.9.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I feel like looking back on, it, I might have scored episode one a little too low. I think I was trying to, I've said a few times, like, I go nuts on these scores, like every single episode, like
10.
worst
It's a
episode of the
10.
series, 9.9.
Yeah.
It could have been better. So I will dip it underneath my episode one score of 8.5, I think it was, or 8.4. I'm gonna go 8.2 for this one. I think that's a good spot for it. Like I said, I like where they're going, I like where they set up. I think this would have stunk as a season
An
opener.
opener?
Yeah,
Agree.
it
Like,
would have been disappointing and like, okay, she just had a panic attack. We've been waiting for 2 years. We get a panic attack and that's it. Like, yeah, you get the twist at the end, but would not have been enough for a season premiere.
I wanted to bring that up because do you think that maybe they did this purposefully. I know that they're blaming HBO budgets and whatever, but like HBO is never not I don't know. What do I know? But like it seems as though HBO doesn't really shy away from pumping money into their flagship properties. So did they maybe look at this and say, if we do this as the opener, people are going to be all pissed off and we might lose viewers? Maybe. I don't know.
So I'm not going to take the blame completely off HBO because I mean we've just seen it so many times
I
with
mean, I'm sure they did,
every
but
yeah, every corporation where they're probably like, we need to think about our stockholders and maybe $40 million an episode for this Game of Thrones. That's not as good as the original Game of Thrones. But I was brought that point up. I think it was last week or the week before, where like it may have sucked last year, but I think the moving these storylines to this season is going to be better in the long run for the show because it stretches out the available story that they have over 2 seasons. And because if they're locked into 2 more seasons and we got all that stuff last year, I think we would have been really stretching this season,
could
or
be.
had to do shorter seasons for these last two.
And possibly we, depending on how things shake out, so basically there's, I think, what, 5 more episodes this season? Because there's 8
Hmm.
total, or 4 more, or whatever. And then we'll have 8 next year, or next year, probably 2 years from now. So they may have looked at it and been like, there's not much more action in season 3. If we push these two to here, then we get a little grace from the audience that there's like mostly like political posturing and like other stuff, that there's not a lot of action. So maybe they did it that way. But you're right. I mean, the statement you made initially is absolutely correct. If this was the season opener, people would have been fucking pissed.
But would they have built up enough goodwill with
That's
the
the thing.
ending
I
of
don't know.
season two? You know,
Possible.
Uh,
I don't know.
um, but like even it was, I think the absolute right call was keeping these two episodes, the first two episodes together,
Yes,
and not doing like Gullet at the end of season two and then start this season with last week because it would the Gullet wouldn't have been good enough of a season ender. Like
correct.
it would have left too many threads open and like yeah, you got Jace dying, but it wouldn't have been enough. And as much as we said that season two was a little lacking storyline wise and payoff wise, keeping those two episodes together was the right choice.
Absolutely. 100% agree. You have to keep those two together. But whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter because they were released how they were released. So,
And when you go back and rewatch it, you're not going to wait 2 years between those
nah,
two seasons. So
doesn't matter.
whatever.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to bring up that won't fit in our fantastic segments, our perfect segments?
um, I mean, do you want to do a little Damon talk here,
Yeah, we
or do you think
can.
he's gonna you got um
I'm
awards to give out and that could bring it in?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this specific scene and just kind of some of the things he did in general this episode will fit. But I just wanted to comment on the kind of cold open scene. Um, I felt it was weird even without knowing that that was, we never got Fagon from Game of Thrones. We got Farron. Um, uh, and I just thought it was strange, and maybe I missed something, but it's like, all right, so Damon has historically just been like, burn everybody who cares, like not big on surrender. Now,
Yeah.
he may have been given direct orders from Rhaenyra, whatever. We don't know. We didn't get that part. Um, but he doesn't burn everybody in that army, which I mean, probably should have. B, he takes Daron, doesn't or does take his dragon, because you don't know, you don't see that part. I mean, I'm sort of guessing that
He mentioned that he was taking it.
right, I guess.
But you
So
don't see him take it, or you don't see him back at King's
I
Landing or anything.
guess. But so I guess Daron, fake Daron, was on one of the other dragon's backs. Maybe he flew with Damon.
Yeah,
So
because like right, like how you would need. I didn't even think about that. Like you would need him to fly. I mean, you don't need him to fly the dragon back, but if he is, I mean, if he's capable of flying the dragon, why wouldn't you just have him fly the dragon back? But if he's fake,
and also,
he can't
okay,
fly it.
right. If he's fake, he's not gonna be able to fly it. The dragon's gonna, who knows, flip out, buck him off, doesn't matter. Uh B, all right, the dragon keepers are gonna bring um Tessarion, I think his dragon's name is, um to sounds like Tumbleton, but like they don't really mention that. The only reason I'm saying that is like at the end that Dragon Keeper comes in and is like, Tumbleton, they took it over.
Yeah,
Um, so okay, so if Daron flies to Sarian back to King's Landing, fine, I get it. That's also kind of a it's like you get arrested and they tell you to drive to jail in your own
yeah,
car.
yeah.
Like
You
that's
drunk, yeah,
yeah, maybe not the best idea, but okay. So we don't do that. We have this kid get on the back of the dragon with Damon, he's gonna fucking shit himself. He's never flown before.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I, I don't know. It just seemed like a little odd. Like they kind of didn't think of some of those things, and then like everyone's surprised that he's not really Darren.
Great points, and a lot of them I didn't even think of because again, like I'm such a fanboy sometimes for this stuff that I don't think of those little plot holes. But I also don't know, was this worth a cold open? Like you do cold open so rarely in the show that it just seemed like a weird
Yeah,
cold open. Like this could have been the first. Like anytime they do one, it feels like it's very important. I mean,
right.
like it is, like it comes back in the end, but
Yeah,
not. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It doesn't feel cold open worthy to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed weird, and again, I just thought that them just being like, yeah, go home. Like, that's
Yeah.
it. Nothing. You're not gonna eat one dude. You're not gonna burn anybody. You're not gonna take Ormond into custody. Like, come on.
Yeah. Mistakes were definitely made. Like the only thing that I will defend the posture of Damon in this for is thinking he knows that they have to kill Daeron. So maybe that's in the back of his mind. Like at least this is the loose end we're gonna get.
I guess.
You kind of want to keep the high towers around, or if you can bring them into the fold, it's only going to help you. And obviously that's a Rhaenyra play, right? Like that's her.
Yes.
She wants peace, probably more than she should, um, especially with people that are directly in opposition to her. But that's the only thing I would say is maybe like that was the way Damon justified it in his head was like, all right, at least we're gonna kill this little shit.
I guess. And I mean, listen, they're a married couple. You know that after it's found out that it's not really Darren, he was like, see, I
Yep.
told you I wanted to burn everybody, and you said not to do it. And then there
Yeah.
probably a fight would ensue.
100%. And plus that little exchange that they had towards the end of the episode.
Yep.
So
I mean, I can't like I get both arguments. Like I understand like Rhaenyra wants to be merciful and just and like do the right thing, quote unquote, or whatever. But Daemon's not wrong either. Like this is like a contested throne. You're coming in and being like, all right, like the army we were just fighting can just go home. Like you need to I almost feel like you need to like scare everybody first.
yeah.
Then you can be merciful and bring them in once you get things in order, but they're just like coming in and being loosey-goosey about things.
It's very much Rhaenyra always makes the wrong choice. And I
Yeah.
wonder if that's going to come back and bite her. I'm sure it will. But like, she need to kill Otto?
No.
Probably not.
No.
There's probably keep him prisoner. You know, you're not obviously going to get him to bend the knee and do your bidding, but you could have kept him prisoner, could have sent him to the wall. You could, there's a million things you could have did with Otto
Could have used him
that
as a hostage to tell Ormond to go the fuck home and not take Tumbleton
well,
or
there you go.
whatever.
That's your negotiating tactic. We have Otto. Otto's already dead. Ormond and company are going to be more pissed, and they have nothing to, you know, behave for.
Right.
Aegon's gone, as far as everybody knows. No one knows where Aemond is at this point. So, I mean, I guess Allison, but like, we're seeing very clearly that, women don't have much backing in this time in Westeros. Like they really don't care that much. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we're gonna see where all these decisions ultimately land, but she's fucking up and she's not listening to Damon when she should, but he's also giving terrible advice at some points. So, what is she doing? She's just got the wrong person in her ear and no one to counterbalance Damon.
Yeah. And she's like sort of listening to some of this shit, like kill Otto, but she should either listen to all of his nonsense or none of it. And she's
Yeah.
kind of doing, she's like half in, half out. But yeah, um, this was an episode fraught with terrible decisions by Rhaenyra. Um, I'm sure we'll talk about some of those. Should we do some segments? Because I feel like that might fit into some of those.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
What do you want to start?
let's start with the Iron Throne. Who sat the Iron Throne this week? Not Rhaenyra. Uh, I mean, it could be Rhaenyra, but who had the best episode? Which character was the best this episode? Benny, why don't you tell us your thoughts?
Oh boy, I mean, does anybody win this week?
Great point.
This is like just, I mean, it's so heavily focused on Rhaenyra, and like Rhaenyra is just not, I guess for the moment, it's Ormond sits the Iron Throne for
Damn
me this
it. That
week.
was gonna be
Like,
my choice, motherfucker.
who else could it be? Like, who else had a good, I
Week.
mean, I think it's gonna be short-lived for sure. Um, but he pulled one over on them big time. And, you know, I don't know where it's going. I have a feeling I do. It's gonna involve a lot of fire. Um, but yeah, I mean, he pulled the best move this week. And he destabilized Rhaenyra's weak plans. She already had very weak plans and was unsure of what to do and how to do it. And just when she felt like maybe she was getting a little momentum, she gets, to use the phrase again, this episode gets the rug pulled from her.
That's true. Um, yeah, that was gonna be my choice, and one of the reasons too was when we were watching the episode, the missus said, "Ooh, who's that? He's
Damn.
handsome."
Big win for him
I
this
was
week.
like, I'm chopped
I'm
liver
right
over
here.
here, I guess. Um, so, well, because you picked my pick, I'm gonna pivot quickly and say that uh, Queen Helena sits the Iron Throne this week for
Mm,
her dynamite, maybe simpleton comment of, "Did it make you feel better?" Basically,
yeah,
like, did killing him make it better?
yeah,
Um, and I think that's, they kind of just like glaze over it a little bit, but I think that's an important thought because again, Rhaenyra's doing all this stuff and she still is angry. She said it in this episode that she's just filled with rage, basically. Um, and she's making rash decisions. She's not thinking, and she, I don't know. It's just it's like that meme, like suddenly I became important at work and it ruined my life. And that's
yeah.
again like where we're at. Like she has no small council really. She has no Queen's Guard. No, nobody to help her advise her. She's asking Allison for advice, who she hates, and Allison constantly
He,
is in a state of surprise now, apparently. I don't know if
yeah.
I don't know if it's just me and I'm looking for it, but she's constantly like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are we so surprised all the time? What's going on?
You know what's going on.
I guess.
Yeah, her her small council sucks at this point. I mean, you
Sucks.
have Damon who just has zero. Oh, oh my God, we didn't even talk about this guy, but you have Corliss who's like very much in the background of like, well, let me see what you're gonna do for me. And like the only input he has is I back the queen with whatever she says. Um, the Maester's like trying to figure out what's going on here. And Missaria, right? That's her name,
Yeah.
is what real advice can she give? Anything that she says, like there's no experience there to back it up. Like, okay, you may have an idea of what the small folk want, but what does that really matter?
It's rough. Rhaenyra is not in a good place right now.
No, no, worst week ever.
Yeah. I think you might be right. And great point, because that probably leads us to our next segment, which is who has the best story? Meaning
Brandon
who had the
Brunken.
worst week? Um, and I'm gonna pick Rhaenyra here. She had a few good moments. Um, I think the serving of the rats to the nobles was a uh interesting choice. It was one of those like gotcha moments, like, and maybe in the moment it felt good, but there's no way that's not gonna backfire on her. Come on now. Come
Yeah,
on. Like what are you doing? Like I get I mean, all right, let me back up. I get what you're trying to do here. But to piss off the people with power to please the small folk. Now I understand they did something wrong, but maybe come at it in a different way than like insulting all of them. When their support is shaky at best.
right, exactly. That was going to be my point is not the time.
No,
Not the time. Like, and listen, please. I mean, I'm no one percenter. I'm no, you know, you get yours no matter what, and who cares about all the people you screw over along the way. But this is a different situation. You have shaky support, like you said. Um, this is like you need to consolidate that power at this point. You're not the president, you're the queen, and you're supposed to be ruling over all these people. You need to consolidate power and get people behind you, and that's not the way to do it.
absolutely. Um, but I will say quick, big shout out, and this should have been my Iron Throne, Dan Fogler as Manderley.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's my boy from Fantastic Beasts and another movie that I liked, Fanboys. So I hope he's in more episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who that is, but he was obviously electric, and like he just gets his own little sidebar scene, which was just fantastic. So,
I'm pretty sure
um,
he's an American too.
is he? That would
Yeah,
be
which
very
is
rare,
very rare.
but he's got that look. He's got that manderly look.
It does.
Oh, you know what we talked about last week? That if we could sit down and ask George one question,
Yeah.
what's up with the Manderleys? What's going on?
Yes.
That's a great question. Like, okay, pie in the sky, I want to know what's going on in all these little faraway worlds he's built, but I want to know what's going on with the Manderleys too.
Something's up with them.
Yeah.
Um, did you ever, this is a complete other sidebar, but did you ever read into the Great Northern Conspiracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious what Wyman Manderley is up to.
Yeah. That's why this guy can't finish these books, bro. There's just way too much out there that he has to try to tie back together.
I know, there's a lot to rectify. Um, okay. So, besides serving rats, Rhaenyra, and let's talk about this for a second, um, basically denies uh elevating Corliss's sons to Valerians. Um, I
Well,
sort of
can I give my
is that
best
who you're
story?
gonna give?
Yeah, so my best story this week is Corliss. I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about him so many times. Like he's our guy. He's set up now. He did everything he could for Rhaenyra, but the first thing he asks her for spectacularly blows up in his face. And let's get into it. What did you
You're
want to say?
blaming Corliss for this?
No, it's not his fault, but he had the worst week. because
All right, fair. Yeah, not because
buddy,
he
like
made
you
a
can't you,
mistake, I
you're
guess.
screaming your children a bastard where people can hear you.
That
Not
was a
good.
mistake. Yes,
Not
that
good.
was not a good idea.
Yeah.
But going with my best story, Rhaenyra, like, you serious? Like, you can't call them Valerians for the reason that people think your kids are bastards? Like, come on now. One of them's a dragon rider. You were just sucking his dick in the dinner a little while ago. And Alan, same thing, hero of the gullet and whatever.
The stepstones.
Stepstones, like, what's the big deal? You can't, come on. This guy, Corliss, you wouldn't be here without Corliss. You're you were married to his son. You were his what's the term? You were his beard, right?
Hmm.
Got him out. He's somewhere doing whatever he's doing. Just like Damon in the cold open when he's like, go back to Old Town and do whatever you do. Um, so I find this to be egregious. Now, Corliss didn't help his case, but she, that is the wrong decision by her. Um, Maybe given a different reasoning, like yes, but not just yet or something.
It's that thing where like because it's you, right? And it's your life and your situation, you think other people are thinking about it so much more than they actually are, like with the
No
whole
one
bastards
cares.
thing. At this point, bro, there's dragons flying around burning shit. There's been two, three, four kings in the last couple of years. Nobody is even going to think twice about the fact that she legitimizes these two kids. And if they do, who even cares? Like you like what you say goes. They're
Right.
able to ride. Your sons are able to ride dragons. They're all able to ride dragons. So obviously, like that's you could just say that.
Yeah. The
Like
fact that Adam can is a dragon rider is all the proof anyone needs. Be like, yeah, maybe whatever. Maybe he's a bastard, but he's definitely a Valerian.
right.
Yeah,
So
dragons.
yeah, this is why Corliss had the worst week by far, is because
True.
after he's had high tide burned or drift mark burned to the ground. And like I said, he sacrificed everything. He sacrificed, not directly, but he sacrificed his wife. He sacrificed, his kids to a certain extent. And now the one thing that he asked for, and like he said, it's not. It seems like a big deal to Rhaenyra, but it's not like I need you to give me another castle. I need you to. All these people are asking for shit that she doesn't have and can't do because they've been wiped out of gold. The one thing you can do is essentially just say, okay, these two kids are legitimate. That's all you have to do. And it's just, I get why Corliss did what he did, but also
Yeah.
I
Bad
I don't
idea.
know. I don't know where that's going. That's that's going to be intriguing.
That's like if if you're having a tough day with the kids and your spouse comes home and you're all like edge of your seat, like ready to snap because they're being crazy, and they like pick a little fight with you, and you just nuclear at them because you're just like,
Yeah.
this is not the time for this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, him yelling at her in the hallway that your kids are bastards, probably not a good idea. But Rhaenyra, when you are short on allies, to I know he's maybe not as powerful as he was a few weeks ago, but your staunchest ally. Just just give him the name. Who cares?
Yeah. I of all the listen, I'm still Team Rhaenyra till I DIE, but that was the one moment where I was like, dude, what are you doing?
What are you
Like,
doing? You're and to further even break this out. Okay, so she pisses off the Valerians. So Adam, which is one of her dragon riders, she treats Hugh kind of like shit, one of your dragon riders, and is Ulf is just constantly a joke to them. Like
yeah,
that's three nuclear weapons that you're just like,
mishandling.
who gives a fuck about? Like, are you serious? These are the key to your power. If like I don't understand what you're doing with your allies right now. Like, I get you're stressed because you're being asked a million questions, but like, then go to your chambers and chill out for however long and maybe drip your, have them come to you instead when you're ready to talk to them. Like, give me a day.
She needs a hand badly, and a good one, and like
Yes.
some like, but who could it be at this point?
It
It
would have been
can't
a
be.
good hand, Otto, but you killed him.
He could have been, but you can't trust him in that situation.
I
Like
know.
you can't. But yeah, of all the people, like who, all those idiots on Dragonstone that like
Yeah, they
were
all
so, "Oh,
stunk.
don't do that, Rhaenyra. Don't do that, my your great." Like they're all weak. They're all just trying to protect their own ass. I don't know who's out there that, and this is going to be like her downfall, obviously, is like her fatal flaw is that she doesn't have anybody that can bring her along and teach her anything. Viserys, he didn't really try to teach her anything. So she's going into this completely blind with Daemon in her ear, and that's it.
Not ideal.
No.
So, whatever. Um, all right. Anything else to say about Corlys or Rhaenyra? I feel like there's more for Rhaenyra, but
Yeah, I mean, just a tough week. I don't.
she just made a lot of bad decisions this week.
Yeah, right track, wrong track. If we're doing that, that Reuters poll, right track, wrong track for Westeros, what I would have to say, wrong track right now. We're not in a good spot. As much as I wanted this, might have a little regret for my vote right now.
Yeah. Um, all right. Favorite scene.
Go ahead.
We got to come up with a name for this, first of all. We have names for
Hmm.
the other two segments. I don't know. Um, favorite scene. I think I'm gonna go, even though it was stupid and regrettable, and it will probably bite her in the butt at a certain point, but I gotta go with the dinner with the rats because it was just like classic, like serving them rats, like, and I'm sure that a lot of the audience was like, yeah,
Yeah,
stick it
got
to him.
him.
And
Yeah,
I don't want, I I feel like, and I get it. Listen, eat the rich, babe. But I feel like a lot of shows are kind of doing that lately, and I just want it to stop. Like, if it makes sense to the narrative, like, of course. But it just felt a little like they like pushed it in a little bit.
great move. Year two, year three, not that's not a good first week move.
Yeah,
Like you can't, like I said, I mean, you got your little cheap pop moment when you were able to give out all the stuff to, you know, maybe what, 100, 200 small folk when
yeah.
there's like millions of
What are we
them.
doing? Yeah,
So like, I don't know, it just is like I said, as much as eat the rich, I could be, but again, this is not
pick your spots.
US 2026. This is Westeros friggin', 150 AC or whatever we're
I
talking
think
here.
130.
All right,
I
close
think.
enough.
Yeah.
Not like you said, not the move. Consolidate your power and go from there. I mean, you need to. I mean, how many times have you seen like, Tywin, like they'll screw somebody over, but they know what it could cost them, and they have someone ready to like take over that castle or that house or that
Right.
line.
Yeah.
Um,
She just
and
wanted to
she's
like screw people and wasn't thinking like long term.
Yeah, because the only thing she can do right now in this situation that she's confident in is get the small folk behind her. And that really, I forget who said it, but like that really doesn't do anything for you. Like you think it
No,
does, but they don't care. They just want to eat. They don't care who's sitting on the throne. It doesn't matter to them. It
no,
really doesn't affect their day at all.
no. Does
Um,
not matter.
so yeah,
And if the rich are against you, they can influence the small folk pretty
right,
easily or more easily than the small folk can influence the nobles and merchants, etc.
right, right. Because they're already talking about, well, why did we have to do that? It was your blockade
Right.
that
Yeah.
that caused all this in the first place. So that is easily the narrative that they could start spreading around is that okay, she gave you a couple loaves of bread, but it was her, it was her fault in the first place.
Yeah. That was a very stupid move. Like, very stupid. Very, very short-sighted.
And I don't think like those weren't like the main houses, like the most prestigious houses.
No.
Like those weren't like, but still, I mean they're important people.
Yeah. They're important for the city, maybe not for the realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the
Um,
scene regardless.
yes, true. My favorite, I'm gonna go back to the Rhaenyra Corlys scene. Again, the two of the best actors we have on the show by far. Obviously Matt Smith too, but I love Steve Toussaint. I obviously love Emma Darcy, and I never stop talking about her on the show. But that was a great scene. It comes to a head where Rhaenyra is just like up to her neck and shit, and makes the worst possible choice with Corlys, and Corliss's reaction and everything just so great, and kind of that emotional high point of the episode.
Yeah, agree. Um, Before we get to least favorite scene, quick favorite scene, Ani Mensch slash adding to Rhaenyra's poor decisions or bad things happening to her this week. The whole interaction with the High Septon. We didn't talk about that like at
Yeah,
all.
true. Yeah,
Um,
yep.
I mean,
She can do something stupid there too.
that can't be good.
Yeah.
Can't have the faith mad at you.
No.
You want the
Um,
small folk on your side, gotta have the faith on your side.
exactly. They're another one that could spread a narrative about you real quick and people are gonna believe it.
Yep.
I'll do it on Mensch too while we're here, but it's the
Yeah.
ending. It's the ending of the episode where the reveal happens with the fake Daeron and then the scene with the dragon rider. As all the green banners go up in flames behind her, like just so good. I'm so psyched that we have our jumping off point for next week, and it's gonna get nuts again. It seems like.
Yeah. And I will say I may have some criticisms about the story or whatever, but the settings, fantastic. Like you just talked about with, the symbolism, burning the greens, and then this is happening. And the music, also fantastic.
Interesting music this week.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I liked it.
Yeah. All right. Least favorite scene. Got any?
Um, I don't know that I do. Um, we pointed out the plot holes with the cold open, and like I said, I know I didn't really think about them because I'm not smart. Um, but I don't know that I have a least favorite scene. I'm not gonna pick one right now. Maybe I'll let you go, and if I think of something along the way, I'll jump back in.
Um, you know what? I will say I did not enjoy watching the scene where she was taking petitions because it was like she was like just way too uncomfortable. Like I get it, it's not an ideal situation to be in, to be not berated, but like repeatedly like, hey, can we have some gold? Hey, can we have some gold? Hey, can we have some
Yeah.
justice? Like, but I don't know, I just didn't enjoy watching that and I was like, this is not gonna go well. And that was kind of the first major thing that happened this week that was like Rhaenyra's not gonna have a good week. I mean,
I-
they're also like, also your monthlies are here, so that's fun.
Yeah, and again, that's a spot where you need a hand to step in and be like,
Right.
you know what? Hey,
We'll talk to, whatever. Yeah.
pull the old, DJT that we both are not the biggest fans of. Just be like, we didn't realize how much of a mess was left for us, and now we got to clean it up. So thank you
Yeah.
for like
Blame the
like
previous administration. What are you doing?
exactly. Just be like, listen, we didn't realize all this was going on. We're glad we're back. Let's please continue to
Take
let
a
us
beat.
know. Yeah, and we're gonna come back to all of you and figure this out. But she doesn't have anybody there, and she's drowning. She's drowning in the weight of it all. I mean, aside from she just lost a son, she killed Otto. Allison probably hates her. Like she's just not in the right headspace to take those petitions on that day.
Nope. That was dumb. She should have waited. She just wants it's almost like she wants to be popular so bad, and that's not the path you should be taking right now. Like you want to be like, okay, is there a vote in Westeros? Then yeah, you got to be popular. You don't
No, exactly.
have to be popular at this moment. You just need to wield power and at this time consolidate it and get strong, get money back. You don't need the small folk to love you. Like it would be nice, but you don't need that right now. You need to get
Right.
your house in
It's
order.
not a today problem.
No, absolutely not. Today's problem is get a Queen's Guard, get a small council, get a hand, think about all the issues. Like have these issues brought to you so you can that's at work, you tell people to email you to remind you of something.
Yeah.
It's so I can read it and think about it for 10 minutes
Yeah.
before I respond.
Yep, exactly. 1,000,000%. That's the point I was trying to make there.
Yeah, send me a raven first.
Yeah.
We'll circle back to this. Let's put this in a parking lot right now.
We're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah, hate that. Um, anything else about this episode that we should talk about?
I came into this one being like, there's not much to talk about, but there is. I mean, once you start unpacking it and you're like, oh yeah, these things connect and all that kind of stuff. So I think we did a pretty good job. I'm sure I forget something we always do, and I'll text you in 15 minutes, be like, bro, we didn't talk about fucking, I don't know, whatever. But I think we're leaving it in a pretty good place.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I guess, we'll see next week or the rest of the season. Like there was a number of things that Rhaenyra did or decided or said that are gonna what's the opposite of paying dividends in the future? It's gonna come back to haunt her, a couple
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So
She's got some interest payments coming.
yeah, yeah. All interest, no principal.
What is you said last week after the first two episodes, if this was a good episode, you were going to tell Robbie to watch it.
Uh I was texting him a few days ago about something I don't remember. And I told him, I was like, I was gonna wait till the third episode, but I just want to say that House of the Dragon's pretty good. Maybe you should think about coming back. And he just sent me the GIF back of nah, 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 nah.
All right, so maybe we'll see how next episode turns out, and then
It,
we'll.
if next episode is a banger, like a banger, like because this episode I could see people being like, meh, about it, but just we're balls deep in this right now.
Yeah.
It would have to be bad for us to jump off ship. But if next week's a banger, I will definitely plead my case with him again.
If you were skeptical coming back to it, and then you watched one, two, and then this, you'd probably be like, "Ah, here we go again.
Exactly.
Here we go
Exactly.
again."
We need a strong episode 4 to possibly bring Robbie back.
Agreed. Agreed. So
Um,
maybe we'll see Robbie in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
got a plan, 2 weeks. Um, all right. If there's nothing else, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Again, send us some messages. Um,
When I hear a sound,
we love you.
a rap at the door, my
Benny,
young
tell him
son
good night.
Gabriel walks in. My wife
Good night,
said,
Corliss?
"No,
Question mark?
I said, no. Let the boy watch. Let the
See
boy
what happens.
watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father. The way he learned from his father. Let